Let's go drift it.
This is the drop bracket, and you can see there's a bunch of different holes, so I think if you don't know exactly what you're looking at, you might be confused. So here, these first 4 holes here are going to be for the lower control arm, the rear pivot on the lower control arm. And then this is the original shock mount, and these holes over here on here are the 3 drop mount positions for the shock. Look, here's an example. If we kind of hold this up, this is how that plate would go. So the end of your control arm in the rear is going to go in one of 1, 2, or 3 holes. This is going to be where the original, this bolt goes where the original control arm goes. You're going to put them on the outside of your original suspension brackets. And then this hole goes where the original shock mount goes. And with these 2 top holes, it'll hold the brackets on. You'll have 1 on each side. And then that gives you 3 new options to mount your control arm, making the drop bracket part. So basically it puts your control arm in a more stock location when you're lowered. And then here you've got 3 options for your shocks, so that you can control the amount of droop that your suspension has, and therefore make sure that your suspension doesn't cycle so far that it starts to bind. These holes here for the shocks are going to use a 14mm or 9/16 bolt. I recommend something like 3.5 inches, 3 inches, 3.5 inches, probably 3 inches, sorry. 3 inches would be good, because that'll leave you enough room to have a nut and washers and everything. Same with this. This is a 1/2 inch or a 12mm bolt, and these are 12mm 1/2 inch bolts. This is hypothetically how the brackets would be bolted on the car. You'd have a 14mm bolt, which I don't have a spare one, in here. This bolt would be going through your original shock mount. This bolt would be going through your shock. And then in one of these holes, you would put the control arm bolt. And again, these go on the outside of the original shock mounts. One thing, so you're gonna, obviously this shock mount's gonna be narrow here. You can use washers that take up the space if you want to, but I don't think it's absolutely necessary. Also, if you have a spacer, you could put it in here to space between the original bracket as well, to like as a placeholder for your control arm, but I don't think that's necessary either.